When we talk about the purpose of education, many parents, especially those following a classical or Charlotte Mason approach, come back to the ideals of truth, goodness, and beauty. They are ideals we'd like to permeate our child's learning, but they can sound abstract. How do you actually teach them in a homeschool setting and connect them to each subject? One of the most powerful ways is through music. Music has the ability to make these big ideas not only understandable, but also deeply personal. In this video, I'll show you how music can open the door for your students to encounter truth, goodness, and beauty in ways that last a lifetime. I'm Christy, the creator of Music IQ, an online music history curriculum designed for homeschool families. My goal is to make music learning both accessible and inspiring for middle and high school students, even if you don't have a musical background yourself. And this topic of truth, goodness, and beauty is at the very heart of what I hope families take away when they study music together. It was so important to me when I was homeschooling my own children, who are grown now, and it's been a vital element of my curriculum writing and classroom teaching. Truth in music often shows up in order, structure, and form. When students listen to the fugues of J.S. Bach, for example, they hear a musical puzzle where every line fits together with precision. Or when they study the sonata form that Mozart used, they see a logical framework that composers relied on to create balance and clarity. These aren't just music facts. They point to something bigger, the idea that truth has structure, that it can be discovered, and that it is not random. In a world that often says truth is subjective, we can see the opposite modeled in music. Teaching students to notice the underlying patterns in music helps them see the value of reason, discipline, and design. It can train them to look for truth and design in other areas of life as well. Goodness comes through the values and human stories that music communicates. For instance, when students learn about African American spirituals, they discover how people used music to sustain hope and faith in the face of suffering. When they hear Beethoven's later works, they encounter a man who created some of the most profound music ever written that expresses his struggles. He wrote this music after he had gradually become nearly completely deaf. These are just a couple of the many fascinating stories that point to goodness in music. But these stories are more than background details. They give students role models of perseverance, courage, and integrity. Discussing the lives and struggles of composers invites students to wrestle with questions like, what does it mean to choose good when life is hard? How can creativity become an expression of, and also a bringer of, comfort and strength? Music history, when taught this way, becomes an avenue for shaping character. And then there's beauty, perhaps the most immediate gift of music. We've all had the experience of being moved by a soaring melody or feeling the energy of a rhythm that makes us want to dance. We felt the atmosphere of a moment transformed by music. Beauty in music captures both the mind and the heart. Helping students recognize beauty is about more than just liking a song. It's about cultivating attention. When they pause to hear the elegance of a Renaissance motet or the sweeping drama of a romantic symphony, they practice slowing down, listening carefully, and letting themselves be moved. This kind of formation builds a lifelong capacity to recognize beauty in other areas of life as well, in nature, in literature, in relationships. It's a habit of noticing and treasuring what is good. Personally, I believe this is a vital element of life. I know I wouldn't want to live without it, but it needs to be cultivated, and the pace and nature of our daily lives works against it. Opportunities, experiences, and training in appreciating beauty. These are some of the best gifts we can give our children. So when we talk about teaching truth, goodness, and beauty in homeschooling, Music is one of the most powerful tools we have. I hope you won't think of it as just an elective or an extra subject. Music provides a way for students to experience truth through order, goodness through story, and beauty through sound. If you'd like a simple way to bring these experiences into your homeschool, I invite you to explore my Music IQ course. It takes students on a journey through music history from the Middle Ages to today, with lessons that connect directly to these bigger themes of truth, goodness, and beauty. You can access the course at the link below, as well as a free resource for learning about classical music in your homeschool. Be sure to subscribe for more homeschool fine arts ideas, and I'd love to hear in the comments, how have you seen music bring truth, goodness, and beauty into your homeschool or family life? I'll see you next time.